Hello everyone, I'm Ollie. I'm one of the marketing and CRM consultants here at HubGem, and we specialize in HubSpot implementation for the education sector. And in this series, I'm going to be outlining the AI features that HubSpot CRM offers and how to use them. Our previous video, if you haven't seen that, go and check it out, was all about the settings that you need to toggle on and how to use them so that all of the AI features within your HubSpot account are working how you want them to be. Now, in this video, we're going to go over a bit of an overview of the Copilot AI functionality. Now, I'm starting off the session within this sort of Breeze screen here because there's a lot of different AI tools and sections within HubSpot, and they all sort of come under this term Breeze. Breeze is HubSpot's full suite of AI tools across the CRM platform. And if I scroll down slightly, you'll see kind of the three sections that the overall Breeze AI is split up into. So we have Copilot, which the overview will cover today, and our following videos will also delve a bit deeper into the bits that we look at. But then you also have Breeze Agents, and we also have Breeze Intelligence as well. And we'll be going over Agents and Intelligence in the future of this video series as well. So we're going to be covering sort of three areas just as a very quick overview today on where we can actually start to interact with Copilot. And we'll also show you at the end how you can just generally interact with Copilot regardless of which tool you're actually in. So the first thing we're going to look at here is on our contacts page. You can see here we've got 106 contacts in our lovely school portal. And for, when we communicate with our contacts, or if we want to quickly delve into and see some sort of snapshot information about the particular contacts, we can do some sort of action or use that information. We've got a really nice summarize feature that the Copilot can do for us. So for those of you who use HubSpot, when you hover over your particular contact, of course, we have our preview view, which can be very useful. But we now have another option here, which is to summarize this contact with Copilot. And this is where the AI steps in and becomes really powerful. So if we click on summarize our contact here, Homer Simpson, Copilot will then come in from this right-hand side, and it will automatically do the summarize contact prompt for you, and then give you the information relevant to the contact that you've just asked it to summarize. So it will give you, contact's name, their sort of stage, they're a customer in our CRM, the date that they were created, job title at their particular position, who owns that contact, and then loads of other information, the key bits of which are actually sort of in bold here in the statement that Copilot gives you. You then get this really nice card for the contact, which is quite different to how the sort of preview view will sort of summarize a record. But you can also jump to some really useful parts of this summary as well. So you can see the last 10 engagements, whether that's tasks, notes, emails, and you can also summarize these particular engagements as well if they were, more lengthy emails, let's say. You can also jump in and see any of the associated deals with the account. So for our audience, these will be, the children of the parents in this case, or any of the deals that are sort of associated with each other. And you can also, of course, summarize these as well. So we can jump to any of those and very quickly get that snapshot information. You'll also see here if we have any other objects in use, like tickets, for example, we can also summarize any tickets that are associated to our contact here. We've then got some quick options, so we can add a task straight off the back of this as well, and you can go through and do that with Copilot also. And we can also begin to draft an email to this individual. And again, you can use Copilot to help you actually write that email. Now, if we want to pop this out and actually see, some context to this, where did it get this information from? We can go into see all context here. This will pop Copilot out and sort of become the whole page, where you've got any of your previous chats here on the left-hand side. And then now that we've popped this out, we can start to see some more of the sort of context on where this information came from as part of its sort of written summary in this nice table view, and then also get a summary of any of the engagements that we've previously had with that contact as well. Now, the second example I want to show you is how we can actually use Copilot to help us modify content that we've already created in some way, and more specifically text content. So I'm in the marketing emails tool here. We have our lovely application open for 2024 email that we want to send. And you can see here we've got the nice branding, and we've set out our email as we kind of want it to appear. Now, anywhere where we have a body of text, we can start to use AI to help us rewrite or change this in some way. So at the bottom here, we have this piece of text. Actually, I've come into it and I've thought this is a bit lengthy. It waffles a bit. We can shorten this, but I'm not exactly sure maybe how to, how to cut this down or what parts I want to cut out. So if I highlight the piece of text that I want some AI assistance with, you'll see here the little AI logo appears with option to start to refine this piece of text. Now, if I click on refine, we get some options on what we want Copilot to help us do. So we can apply our brand voice to this particular piece of text. And again, we set this out in the settings session in our last video on how to personalize your brand voice. We can ask it to rewrite it in some way, expand or shorten the piece of content. We can change the tone and we get sort of a pop-out option with 5 different tones. Or if we jump to something else, we can pop out the Copilot panel from the right side and then we can ask it to do something else that we need it to. In this particular example, it's quite easy. I just want this to be a bit shorter, but I'm not sure which bits I want to take out. So I'll click on the shorten option and then Copilot will slide in. As you can see, if we scroll down to our prompt here, shorten the selected text. Copilot sort of does that for us. And as you can see, we now have a much shorter, more concise version of this with our brand voice applied in this instance because we've already been through our settings and done so. Now, if we're happy with this, we can insert this new piece of text it's created directly into the highlighted text and effectively just replace it. If we're not too sure on how Copilot has actually done this, and maybe we want to add something additional, we can refine this and keep playing around with it until we're happy. But I like this; it's much more concise, so I want to just insert that into my email, and now I have a much smaller, much more to the point section within my email here. Now, the third example we're going to go into is actually how to use Copilot to create content for us from scratch. And again, we're talking about text content for this overview, but we can also use AI tools within HubSpot to do many other types of content as well that I can't wait to get into in future videos. So I'm on the landing pages tool here. We've got our lovely school landing page. I've come up with a heading here. It's simply just a lovely school. We can use AI to actually generate headings as well as bits of text. But in this case, I know I want this section to be a bit of a biography on our school, but I'm not exactly sure what I want to write. So I'll ask AI to sort of help me out. Within our top bar here with all of our sort of editing options, we have the little AI logo, and you'll see generate with Copilot. Now, if we can drop into that, we can either generate a heading, an image, a paragraph, or a subsection. And of course, we can jump into those settings that we explored in our previous video. Now, I just want to create a paragraph in here just to start off this landing page. So I'll click on paragraph, and again, Copilot will slide in for us, and it will go, if we scroll down again to the prompt that we've just asked it for. So we've asked it to create a paragraph, and it's saying, what would you like the paragraph to be about? And you can write as much or as little in this section as you want. Of course, the more you write, the more it will be tailored to the purpose that you're sort of looking for. But I'll be quite broad here and see what it can come up with. So I want us to just demonstrate, how good a lovely school is. So what I've got to do now is just simply give it a prompt. And I can give as little or as much detail here. Of course, the more you give, the more the paragraph will be generated in the way that you want it to. But I'll keep it very broad here and actually see what it comes up with. So let's go with how good a lovely school is. Extremely broad with not a lot of detail. But as you can see, Copilot has actually generated a fairly sort of substantial paragraph here. A lovely school is a beacon of excellence where education is not just about imparting knowledge, but nurturing a lifelong love for learning, and so on. Again, here we see brand voice has been applied. So what we sort of predefined our AI to sort of be like, it is reflected now in all of our sort of paragraphs we're asking it for here. And again, we can either insert this or refine it if we don't like it and ask it to reword it in a different way. I'm happy with that. So let's put it in there. Let's insert it. And as you can see, straight in, sort of copy and pasted, we now have our opening paragraph. Now, of course, just like we looked at with our marketing emails, with that piece of text highlighted, we do still have the refine options where we can go in and do exactly the same things that we just explored with that marketing email example. Now, I just want to finish off with going through how you can actually use Copilot when you're not in any particular tool and maybe don't really sort of know why you want to use it or where you need to use it, or maybe even if you don't want to create some content and you just want to ask it a question. So I'm in our account here. I'm just on our admissions dashboard looking at some reports. If I want to then use Copilot from this screen, I've got the option to do so in our top taskbar here, just next to where your account information is. We've got the Copilot button. If we press that, Copilot, as it has been in all the other tools, will then just slide in. The content will resize on the screen, and we can just start to use Copilot with any of the prompts that we want to. We will be going over how to use prompts effectively in a future video, but for now, I can do something very easy and just ask it, how many contacts were created last month? Copilot will take a moment to actually collect that data, and you might have to wait a couple of seconds to get a response, but as you'll see shortly, the answer that it produces will be just what you sort of expected, and it will generate a mini sort of report for you as well. So last month, it understood the context. We had 6 contacts created in our CRM, and then we've been given that as sort of a mini report, like I said, that we could pull into this current dashboard if we wanted to, or we could jump straight to the report builder and actually edit this particular report. So there you go. That's all we wanted to kind of go through in that overview, and I really hope that you enjoyed it and of course found it useful and informative. And if you want to learn more about HubSpot or how we can help you with your implementation within the education space, then all the links you'll need will be either on this post or in the description. Bye for now.